Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Sanders, and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. Today, we're going to take a look at Rex's diver's dress and chronograph collection. I call it that because Rex had divided his watches into those three categories. So I'm simply using Rex's categories on this, and I think it's a good one because it's very descriptive. Uh, So let's get started. Now, this first one is a Patek Philippe 5961A. It's a chronograph, and so it's part of the chronograph group, obviously. And the interesting thing about this watch and one of the other ones is that Rex was saying he had a Patek Philippe 5711, which I know a lot of people, that's their grail watch. And he said it just didn't make a connection with him, and I know exactly what he means. I had a Audemars Piguet that I lusted after for a long time. I finally got it, and just didn't do it for me, and it ended up trending it on something else. So anyway, so this is one of the two watches that Rex traded for. The 5960. Like this is a chronograph, but it's more than a chronograph. You've got a date, and month, and so that's another thing. And then you have the at 6 o'clock, you have the little subdial with all of the information that would be used with the chronograph. Now, this next one is one of the other ones. This is one of two watches that Rex traded for. It's 5711. And this is an A Longa Unzunda 1. And the thing about this, it belongs to the dress watch group. But one thing that's very hard to capture about this is the mother of pearl dial. This is really a very, very special watch. As a dress watch, it's it almost looks like a regulator. At over around 9 o'clock, you've got the hour hands and minute hands, and then down at 4 o'clock, there's a separate one for the small seconds, and then over to at 3 o'clock is a power reserve indicator, and then a great big date window up at about 1 o'clock. Beautiful, beautiful watch. This would be it again. He's got in this dress watch group. We talked about this recently. A dress watch only has three things. One, it's supposed to be made of a precious metal. Two, it's only supposed to have hour and minutes. And three, it's supposed to be very thin. This one has got a few more dials and just hours and minutes. But that's okay. It's got the mother of pearl dial, which makes it extra nice. I don't know how thin it is, but it would pass, I think, very well as sort of a more liberal view of what a dress watch is today. Now, this next one is almost iconic as far as a diver is concerned. Of course, it's part of the diver, and this is a Rolex Submariner. Very, very clean looking watch. And it's got a few, looks like the bezels been around the block. But otherwise, it is a Submariner. Now, I know among Rolex fans, there's all kind of gradations of what Submariner it is. And I don't have a clue what they are. I mean, I know that some are metal, some are ceramic, some are this, some are that. I know it's not a Jubilee bracelet, which I happen to like, and that's why I know the difference between Jubilee. But this is a very nice standard bracelet on the Submariner. Nice clean watch for a diver. Now, this watch is one I've always really liked. It's the Parmigiani Fleurier Hebdomadaire. Hebdomadaire, pronounced close to that, I think, simply means weekly. And this was made, the movement for this was made by Michel Parmigiani. It was one of his first movements that he made, but he had been working on restoration, doing a lot of watchmaker work before he was basically given a watch brand by the Sandoz family. So wonderful. And this was one of the first ones, and I really like it. You have the date down there at 6 o'clock at the top. You have a little day-night indicator. I think it's a day-night indicator. It could be, I'm pretty sure it is, but it could be a power reserve indicator. Anyway, but I'm pretty sure it's day-night. This particular watch, or this particular movement, is also used in one of my favorite watches, and that is the Parmigiani Ovale pantograph. And I mean, those two, this watch and the Ovale pantograph, I don't think they have a lot in common. Just if you saw one and this one, you say these have the same movement, be very surprised. But that's a heck of a movement, really a very special one, and I like this watch, and I like the movement. Now, this next watch is another chronograph, and it's a chronograph, the Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso Squadra Palermo edition. Now, this particular watch is what I sort of like. I'll put it that way. In fact, I sort of liked it enough that I was very disappointed when they canceled, when they quit making it. It may not have been popular, but I mean, for an interesting watch, it's really neat. It's got a different shape to it. It's rectangular rather than round or something else. This is for a chronograph, and it's a very neat watch. So I've always liked it, and it's one of those things that you like something, and if you go back and you say, why do I like it, you're not sure, but you do, and that's what I think about this one. And again, like I said, it's a part of the chronograph group. Now, this last watch, the Seiko Zimby number 10, it's the last watch in this segment of the collection, and it's a diver. And the dial on this, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's a beautiful dial. It has all of these little, it looks like scalloping from the middle that just goes out, and a big red arrow for your minute hand, and then a typical hour hand. It's sort of a modified syringe for the hour hand. What a watch! So this watch looks like a lot of fun to wear, a lot of fun to have. So, well, now Rex has been collecting watches for 30 years, and this isn't his full collection, but he said this is one that I'm going to send you to, because I think it'd be a good mix. There's divers and chronographs and dress watches. And I think it's delightful. And anyway, this is Rex's collection. I'd really like to hear what your thoughts are on this, and if you have any suggestions. I'm really not sure. I mean, first of all, a guy's been collecting watches for 30 years, doesn't need a lot of advice from anybody, and I think what I would probably suggest, and this is just a suggestion, is take a look at some independent watchmakers, because you've got a lot of, I mean, Hebdo Damari is pretty close to an independent, something, and it's the only watch in the entire collection where you can identify the living watchmaker who did the architect for the movement and everything else with this watch. Anyway, as always, this is an invitation to subscribe if you like. Love your comments. Please have comments, any questions you have. And until next time, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection.